K&S 972 micro wash. Power this unit up by pulling out the emergency stop. This powers up the PLC. Goes through a self-test. Allows you to open the door. And the door does have a locking mechanism so that it can't be opened. This is the interior. Heat lamps up here. Wafer holders down there. This is your dry nitrogen and your washer arm. So I've got it set up for a program. This has two modes of operation. Let's go through the panel here. We have our start button here, our wafer release. This does not have an automatic lid opener. You have your key here in normal operating mode or PLC access. So let me go through the rest of these and then I'll go to that PLC access. Here we have our emergency stop. And these is the adjustments for the speed of the spinner. Your PLC is here. This shows you the actual speed of the spinner when it's moving. Your dry nitrogen is what sprays onto the surface. Your CO2 reionizer, which is an option that this does have. So you would have CO2 normally hooked up to the back for better cleaning. And then your truck vacuum is here. So let's look at the PLC. So I'm going to turn the key to the right, and you can see it says select item. So at this point I can just select an item. I'm going to pick number 4, which is the vacuum. So I pick number 4, I hit enter. Excuse me. It says the pump is on, and you can see up on the truck vacuum gauge that we're reading a vacuum now. So I'm going to hit 4 again to turn it off. So you can see these just toggle, and in the manual they're all listed as to which ones you can turn on and off and what they do. So you can also change what program you're running via the PLC access. So I'm going to switch back to operating mode, which puts us into program run. And I just want to show down here, this is your pump cabinet. This also has a locking mechanism. I don't have it locked, but we have no key for it. So your pump is here. It's on a sliding draw, and all your settings for nitrogen, CO2, and everything are done down here. This does slide out if you needed it to. It does give you a window down here. This window shows you the pump pressure, and I've currently got it set to the max, which is 2,000 PSI, but you can adjust that down. They recommend usually about 1,200 PSI, but I just had to show that it's able to do the 2,000. So that being said, we're all ready to go. I've got a substrate on there, so you push down on the cycle start and then let go. And as you can see, hopefully the arm will start to move back and forth. You can hear the pump operation, and it's currently spraying the top of that with water, what I'm using. And if you were to watch the PLC, it would have a countdown going on for each stage. It parks it. Now turn the nitrogen on. You see we're running at about 1,000 RPMs. So we're in the nitrogen dry cycle right now. Got about 3 more seconds. Our heat lamp has turned on. I have these all pretty much set to short cycles. Now we're in our spin dry, and we're up at around 2,000 RPMs. cycle has ended. It says end on the PLC, and our cycle start lamp has gone out. Cycle has completed. Just to point out on the back, this is our drain. I have it just going into a bucket. It's a gravity drain coming from the tank, and then all your main air fitting coming in here, and then your other gases, etc., are labeled there, and they're all 1/4 inch swage lock, except for the air, which is a 3/8.